In this video, we're going to be talking about being prepared for heaven. Heaven is a prepared place for prepared people. And there are many Catholics and Christians who say they love God, but they're not prepared, and they're going to find themselves on the outside, knocking on the door to the gates of heaven and not being able to get in. This is the Bible passage that we're going to be studying today. It comes from Matthew 25, and it talks about the 10 virgins. And we're going to be discussing how to get to heaven and thoughts for this Lenten season and how to prepare ourselves more for Christ. My name is Brian Mercier. I'm a professional Catholic speaker, retreat leader, and founder of Catholic Truth, an organization dedicated to teaching and preaching the Catholic truth and forming Catholics around the world. Opening up the scriptures are amazing and just life-giving, life-transforming, and we're going to be doing this more and more just throughout Lent, in addition to our other videos as well, but just going through the Bible and having it change your life is awesome. So here we go. This comes from Matthew 25, and it's talking about the 10 virgins. Jesus said that there were 5 virgins who were wise and 5 virgins who were not wise. They were foolish. Why? They were all waiting for the bridegroom to come. They couldn't wait to go to the most glorious marriage feast with the most glorious bridegroom ever in history. They were all excited to see this bridegroom, and he apparently was coming at some point and they needed to be ready. Now they each had lamps to light up the night so that they could make their way to the bridegroom if he came at night. And the wise virgins brought extra flasks of oil just in case the lamps ran out. They could give more oil and keep their lights burning and make it to the bridegroom's palace. And they were so excited. But the foolish virgins, they did not. They were so excited, but they didn't do any preparation. They didn't think about anything beforehand. They didn't look at it and say, okay, this is what needs to be done to make sure that I get to the bridegroom, to make sure I get let in that front door. But the wise virgins, they did that. They thought about, hey, I need to prepare myself. We need to do everything that we need to do to make sure that we don't miss our chance to get in with the bridegroom. And the story says that the bridegroom was delayed, and it proved the wise virgins very wise. And they all ran down to meet him, but the foolish virgins tapped him on the shoulder and said, hey, please give us some of your oil. And they said, we don't know what's going to happen. There might not be enough oil for us and you if we give you some of ours. Go down to the store and buy some for yourselves. So the foolish virgins ran to the store and tried to find some oils, and obviously it took a really long time. And during that time, the bridegroom came, and the wise virgins were so excited, and they went in with him and were greeted by him. The Bible says that after they went in, the door closed behind them. And at that time, the foolish virgins showed up, and they were pounding on the door, and they actually said these words, Lord, Lord, please let us in. And Jesus turned and said, truly I say to you, I do not know you. Now that is scary. At the end of time, you do not want to hear the words, I do not know you on Judgment Day. And you might even say what the virgin said, Lord, Lord, I love you. Please let me in. See, that's the thing. The virgins, they wanted to come into heaven. They wanted to go into the marriage feast. They wanted to be there with Jesus for whatever reason, but they weren't prepared. Wanting to go to heaven and wanting to be with Jesus isn't good enough. One person said that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. We want to, we may even really want to, but that doesn't matter if we don't do what we need to do to get there. Jesus says you do not know the day or the hour, and if you died tonight, would you be ready? Would you be prepared? Would your heart be prepared? See, it doesn't matter if you just go to church on Sundays. Many people go to church on Sundays, but they go in, they go out, they're unchanged. Many people are there, but they don't know why. And I've asked people, why do you even go if you don't even want to be there, if you don't participate, but they're just there because they think they have to be? That's not preparing ourselves for heaven. We could go through the motions. We could give God no time at all. We could give him 2 minutes before we go to bed each night. We could give him a minimum amount. I mean, if we have time to pray, we'll give him a few minutes at night. If we have time to go to church on Sundays, if we're not too busy doing sports and all these other things, then we'll go to church and we'll go to mass. No, The Bible says that we must be prepared. And it's not just doing some ritualistic actions. You're not just going to go to heaven because you're Catholic or because you say a few prayers before you go to bed at night. No, our hearts have to be prepared as well. We have to have a relationship with Christ. He needs to know us. He needs to know who we are. I know many Catholics who say they love Christ and they do a lot for him, but they don't even have a prayer life. They don't even pray to God because they're too busy. They're too busy working. They're too busy with hobbies. They're too busy with sports. They're going from one thing to the next, and they just don't make time for Christ. They're not preparing their hearts for Christ, even though they want to go to heaven, even though they want to be with the bridegroom. And this is what Lent is all about. It's looking at our life. It's looking at ourselves for the next 40 days and saying, okay, here's what I need to work on. Here's what I've reflected on. Here's what I've pondered on. This is what I need to work on to prepare myself for Christ. This is the sin that's been in my life for 20 years. And you know what? It's time to go. This is the addiction that's in my life that I need to start working on during Lent. Lent is about making ourselves holy. It's about making ourselves and bringing ourselves closer to Christ. So don't give up chocolate or cookies or coffee when you could give up gossip or pornography or some other thing that's really a struggle in our life. Maybe it's our anger toward our children that we want to work at for the next 40 days. I mean, I myself have had a really, really tough time. I've been beaten down spiritually, emotionally, and every other way, and it's just killed me, I feel like, and it's been really, really, really difficult, and I feel like being at the bottom, I've become a different person. And I don't like the person that I've become in many ways. I've been more angry. I've been more impatient. I've been more temperamental. I react more emotionally with my wife, and I haven't liked the way that I've always treated her or that I've always talked to her. And quite frankly, I'm tired of it and I'm sick of it. And so I'm just being completely honest with you that I'm not perfect. Just because I give these videos doesn't mean that I have it all together, but we're all on our journey to Christ. And I can tell you that I'm going to be working on this for the next 40 days. I am tired of it, and I'm going to make sure that I'm going to transform the way I think, the way I talk, the way I react, I'm going to be biting my tongue a lot. I might not get the last word. I might not do a lot of things, but by the end of Lent, I'm going to be more patient. I'm going to be more loving. I'm going to be more kind. And you know what? That means there's going to be a lot more room in my heart for Christ. My heart is going to be more prepared for Christ, and I'm going to have a better relationship with Christ. I'm going to have a better prayer life with Christ because I'm going to be bringing it to him throughout all of this Lent. I'm going to be praying to him. I'm going to be begging him because it's all his grace. And I'm going to be doing the things that I need to do to prepare my heart and get rid of that chaff, that the things in the Bible that say that Jesus is going to burn up because they don't belong in heaven. So what do you need to do to prepare to get to heaven? Are you angry, gossipy, lustful? I mean, there's many things that we have in our lives that we need to work on. Don't give up chips. Don't give up coffee. I mean, sure, if it's really difficult for you and you offer it up for Christ as a huge sacrifice of love, great, do it. But also work on something during this Lent. Pick one or two things during this Lent that you really need to work on that are not of Christ, that you need to uproot from your life. And I guarantee you that you will have a more efficient and a more holy Lent that will prepare your heart for heaven. Don't be a foolish virgin. Don't be one of the ones on the outside knocking. I mean, if you watch Netflix all night, you watch TV all night, but you don't pray that day, you've committed idolatry. That's what the Bible says. Anything we put before God is idolatry. If you've played video games, even if you work or you're doing too much school, if you work all day and then come home and do more work at night and you're so busy that you don't have time to pray, you've committed idolatry. You've made something more important than God, and that will put you on the outside knocking to get in, saying, Lord, Lord, let me in. And Jesus will say to you, I do not even know you. If we are not putting Christ first in our life and we are letting all of these idols in our life that we think are so important and really are not even remotely, infinitely not important compared to Christ, we need to rearrange our lives. Some people go to school, they come home and do sports, then they do work, and then they do homework, then they scroll social media for an hour, then they might watch TV for an hour, then they get ready and go to bed. But they didn't pray. They didn't give God any time throughout the day. If you don't give God time throughout your day, you will find yourself on the outside. Christ is going to say to you, I do not know you. Maybe that's one thing you want to do for Lent. Instead of giving something up, you can give up time and spend that time with Christ. Maybe you need more silent time in your life. Take 20 minutes a day just to spend with Jesus. Take 20 to 30 minutes a day just to read the scriptures and meditate on them. Take 20 minutes a day just to say a rosary, but give time to Christ. Give up something that you need to work on. Maybe spend a little bit more time with Christ, and maybe give up something as a sacrifice as well. Think about it, ponder it, and really ask yourself, what do I need to do to prepare myself just in case I died tonight or in a week or at the end of Lent? What would I need to do to prepare myself? Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. I hope you found it inspiring and challenging. Messages aren't good if they don't challenge us to become better. They don't challenge us to become holier. So I hope this has challenged you in an inspirational and charitable way. I know I'm going to be challenging myself as well. And if you did find this helpful, please share it with other people. Please like it. Please subscribe to this channel. And please check out our new website, Catholic Truth. I'm so excited to share my new website with you. It's thecatholictruth.org. Check it out. We are an apologetics and evangelization organization that is dedicated to forming Catholics, to defending the Catholic faith, and to speaking the truth that most people won't speak, but in a charitable and kind way. We want to transform the world for Christ. So check it out. We specialize in online media, speaking and retreats, confirmation retreats, parish missions, apologetic seminars at your church, whatever you want. thecatholictruth.org. And consider supporting our cause. May God bless you.